SAO Alicization War of Underworld returns. Did someone say endgame? So what's up guys, Foxen here. It's been a long 6 months waiting, but Stacia, damn it was worth it. Goddess Asuna and Leafa in action, plus Bercouli taking on God Vector. I mean, SAO was even trending. So if you're as hyped as me, double that like, ring the bell for more SAO videos, and let's dive into the Underworld. Kicking this off, the new opening Anemia by Reona. I can't be the only one that saw white Kirito, and it immediately made me think of Tokyo Ghoul. So definitely share your thoughts on it below. Was it great? How do you rank it among the season 3 openings? I mean, forget the actual animation, I freaking love this Reona song. I may put it number 2 just for that. And for the visuals, yes, it seemed like they wanted it to be a lot more symbolic for this final opening. Did you catch Asuna versus Vasago? And of course, they're already giving away the Double Black Swordsman Kirito here. Honestly, not something that SAO fans didn't already know. Kirito will return. Hopefully he's able to take down that colossal demon-looking shadow? I will have a more in-depth breakdown on this new opening soon. Anyway, episode time, the two goddesses meeting up. Could you imagine, Sinon and Asuna here must be really driving the Underworld citizens insane. Personally, I'm just loving Goddess Sinon's design even more and more. By the way, her soulless figure is now up for pre-order. That's a day one buy for me. Naturally, Sinon would be curious about Kirito's well-being. I mean, first you had the guy getting assaulted, then kidnapped, followed by going into potato mode not only in real life, but also in VR. Not to mention all this took place in a few days. Talk about terrible luck. Then for Tisa and Then for Tisa and Roni, can you imagine being in their shoes? Just meeting the two goddesses from the legends during this crappy war. Right here, Sinon's little introduction. Oh, I'm besties with Asuna and Kirito's, friend. He definitely had a pretty obvious hint of sadness with that line. Come on, Sinon, time to get an Underworld Tinder. And Roni over here was like super jelly. So many ladies. Don't worry, you might be fortunate enough to meet Agio, Klein, and perhaps Eiji. Anyway, for Sinon and Potato Kirito, already getting a reaction from him. Not even hesitating with that hug, which honestly I don't think feels out of place given the context. That said, that peck on the cheek, I really wish they had removed that entirely. You heard me talk about this before. The SAO light novel described it as a kiss, which I already thought was super inappropriate. Especially not when his friggin' girlfriend, practically wife, Asuna hasn't done something similar. At least it was quick. By the way, since I know some of you will bring it up, I do realize in some cultures this is totally fine, normal, non-romantic. But keep in mind, this is Japan. Even between couples, it's seen as such a spicy thing to hold hands in public. Let that sink in. On top of this actually being the shy Sinon. Anyway, getting into more important war affairs. So hey Sinon, you're pretty overpowered now. Wanna help with that unlimited sweet flight? Quinella must be turning in her crispy grave. Right about now, Alice and Bercouli need some divine help. Right here, there was a small cut. Asuna actually mentioned being worried that the Knight Commander was facing the super account. On top of this, if Gabriel actually made it to the World Altar, sayonara Underworld. There were also brief mentions of roundly fighting, plus Iskan and Sheta teaming up in a different location. Next up, the piggy orc leader, poor guy. Recall his troops and beloved one getting wasted and used as fuel for some arts. The guy was actually looking for anything left from her. He did find the one earring. So way to go, Leafa. Perfect Kirito-like landing to break the tension. That must be karma for letting Kirito crash back in season 1. Either way, I think the Underworld gods must have felt sorry for Mr. Bacon. The guy was sad, so they gave him a new waifu right away. I'm just glad that Leafa's back in the game now. It's been a good while. There was almost none of her in season 2, the SAO movie. Hell, she didn't even make it into the GGO scene. Then for Little Pin in here, super subconscious about him being an orc. The guy really just wanted to go stabby on Leafa, but he felt the ring telling him to stop. It really is a shame that the anime pretty much cut out all the backstory for the Dark Territory guys. Orcs are seen as ugly, and they're looked down on by the other Dark Territory races. Even among orcs, this guy was described as being more beautiful since he looked more like a human. So it looks like you have the beauty and the beast. Okay, that's too harsh. It was really great seeing Leafa acknowledge him as being human from the get-go. From her perspective, she really doesn't want to kill any of the people her brother wanted to protect. On the flip side, the guy totally thought it was some sort of trap. I mean, you would too. So you might be wondering why Leafa Goddess landed in the middle of nowhere. Leafa was supposed to appear right next to Asuna. The SAO light novel did mention Leafa using a new soul translator. It still had the wrapping on it. Although in the actual anime, that wasn't the case. It does feel like it's a nice parallel to Kirito landing completely out of place back in Alpha Online. Anyway, I actually loved how eager Leafa was to get captured. The perfect plan. Wait, what? So getting into the hentai scene. The discount Quinella returns. Dee was just oozing blood. Too bad Alice wasn't able to vaporize her. So you even had Dee going straight for Leafa's answers. I'm just glad this wasn't Leafa's top getting completely ripped off, like I envisioned in the book. Unfortunately, Leafa did get the tentacle treatment as a cost. Dee really was sucking onto every spot on her body. Just makes her skin crawl. Although it was for that familiar arts, super sucky. Leafa should have been super drained, turning into like this raisin if it weren't for her super account. So definitely check out my Underworld God video for more info, especially for Terraria. But she does have this unlimited passive recovery. You saw the floor blossom with sacred energy that she auto-sucked in. Higa did tell her that it's practically impossible for her to die via HP loss, which means yes, she's like a freaking tank class. I did joke about Dee being like a discount Quinella, but even her small mannerisms reminded me of her. She's just more slimy. I mean, demanding the guy to strip and literally be an animal. So did someone say taboo? I mean, system alert. He was technically trying his best to defy this dark territory's superior. Just notice right here, Dee was asking the question about whether he was turned on by Leafa's flesh, which does hint at the anime change. Of course, you can't keep a good pig down. I was really getting this Yu-Gi-Oh vibe from him. Ice Seal Explosion. Finally letting the evil juices flow. So payback's a bitch, isn't it, Dee? It really felt like Leafa's own Getsuga Tencho. Dee pretty much got one hit KO'd. But really, even Leafa was surprised at being able to hit her from that distance. It must have been like Kirito using Incarnation to extend her sword reach. So what do you think about the Goddess Leafa introduction? Especially her design. Where do you rank her among the other three gods? Yes, I'm including Best Girl Vector in that. For me, she does come in around number 3 or dead last among the 4 gods. I'm sorry. Trust me, I'm a fan of Leafa, but I always did feel like she looked too much like her Alpha Online look. Let's see if the anime changes this. Still, I am getting her figure. Next up, the ruins. Looks like the anime just cut them to already there instead of showing them move over. So you had Asuna and about 700 troops. Still, gotta love the confidence Asuna displayed here. Not gonna let anyone pass. By the way, they did briefly show Renly here. Forgot you were even with them, buddy. I just like how he was sending the other guys in. Talk about strategy. But holy crap, this guy got split in half. You really don't want to be an extra in this war. Oh yeah, Asuna the Flash returns. It's pretty awesome seeing her full display in action. Bring me more of this. Did you notice the new challenger in the battlefield? Hopefully you recognize his voice. Visago is back from the grave. He was really enjoying Asuna work her magic. Getting back to Papa Bercouli chasing God Vecta. He actually had already been on this gun hunt for over 2 hours. Time for the time-splitting sword in memory release date. I was really curious about this. I loved the new visuals added, just displaying this slice into the past. So Bercouli, good thing you went easy on Yu-Gi-Oh. No joke, Bercouli could have easily killed Yu-Gi-Oh if he wanted to. But how badass is Bercouli? Not flying, but running in the frigging air. Which, by the way, was a move he admitted he stole from Quindella's clown. About that super slash. You actually saw Bercouli unleashing the most powerful sword strike in the history of the Underworld. It was supposed to be a true instant KO. Forget about HP, this was pretty much erasing the God Vector account from existence. If only it landed. Either way, goodbye crown. You're now finally getting a real taste of God Vector's power. The guy could suck up Incarnation. As a bonus, Gabriel has gone full on hollow mode. I was actually getting an Aizen vibe from this. Right here, Gabriel was supposed to be dodging everything with complete minimal movement. And you know that Papa Bercouli saw endgame, the guy kept on going straight for his coconut. But honestly, this mofo is way too overpowered. Just like Dee, God Vector is good at sucking. What the hell? So you can't even get close to him to cross your blades without getting knocked out. Throughout this fight, Gabriel was slowly learning how to get stronger and stronger in the Underworld. New skill achieved, sucking Incarnation from a distance. Oh, did I say overpowered before? This guy is freaking hacking. Someone call Wrath. This account needs to get nerfed. How about we get a potato Gabriel going on? And really, seeing this in the anime was 10 times worse. This is complete BS. He disarmed Bercouli with practically no effort. It would have been really nice to see a full-on fight with both of them at full power. Bercouli was even getting flashbacks to Quinella and this death talk. I don't like where this is going. Anyway, back to the red guys. Oh my Stacio, was that supposed to be English? Seriously, they must be doing this on purpose. Recall the Untouchable in season 2. If they really wanted to, they could have gotten a native sounding guy for these guys. Anyway, poor Asuna is so bloody. So you still had Asuna being able to one-shot the guys, but maybe she got the worst power due to the restrictions. So oh yeah, we're endgame now. I can't believe I was extremely happy to see Klein of all people. Very nice cliffhanger. I mean, if they wanted to, the Bercouli one would have been equally great too. So let me know, how awesome was this episode? It really felt like a blast for the season 3 final chapter kickoff. Only 10 more episodes. This is gonna go by really quick. Which means yes, I will be reviewing SAO weekly. Plus some more juicy SAO videos coming, look forward to those. Anyway, getting into 2 major cuts and 1 minor one this episode. The first major cut was actually an Asuna plus Human Empire fight scene. In case you were wondering why Asuna looked so exhausted, Asuna had been taking more and more of a beating. Thankfully, Asuna thought this was nothing compared to the 3 to 4 hour long boss fights back in SAO. Shortly after, a group of red knights instead started to charge with their lancers. They quickly figured out this was an effective strategy to pick off soldiers bit by bit. Unfortunately, they even got Asuna in this. You should have seen Asuna getting pierced in her stomach from the side by one of the lances. It should have been such a devastating scene. Putting aside the actual potentially gory visual, this was a whole Asuna scene diving into her will and struggle against the underworld pain. I was worried they were going to cut some of this stuff, and they did. They better make up for it. Next up, second major cut. In the SAO light novel, they actually gave a more detailed rundown of the God Vector abilities. So I highly suggest you watch my video on the 4 Underworld gods. God Vector is the one that can manipulate the Underworld people, specifically their Flocklight. Vector overwrites their memories, which alters their Vector data in their Flocklight. This is where the lost child of Vector comes from. On top of this, he does have extra protection. He cannot be targeted by arts. In today's episode, you notice Gabriel sucking up incarnation from Bercouli. This is actually supposed to be a combo of the Dark God's power plus Gabriel's own ability to incarnate. This lovely combination turned into something that the Wrath engineers couldn't have predicted. Recall Dark General Shasta attacking him. That was actually Gabriel sucking up his incarnation, no problem. Good luck, Bercouli. As for the minor cut here, it was actually something between Cornelia and Bercouli's thoughts on serving her for a couple centuries. I got a feeling they're going to bring this up in the next episode, so I'm going to hold back for this. I could actually see them adding a new anime original scene. Oh, and did I forget about something? The new ending. Did you like it? I'll just be honest, I thought it was alright. It'll probably grow on me after a while. And the visuals are interesting, to say the least. I'm glad it was sprinkled with some Yujo and Asuna. A good chunk of it had Kirito on that boat. Actually, when I first saw the boat, right away I thought back to the boat that Kirito and Asuna built in SAO. Unfortunately, it's not exactly the same. I was hoping it was an SAO progressive tease. It would be nice if there was a mild reference to their boat adventure. Anyway, let me know, what did you like the most? Was it seeing the bloody Asuna fight? Bercouli versus the evil god? I know at least one of you liked Leifa getting tentacles. Anyway, do watch my ReZero review and my new video on Rem, and I'll see you guys later.